This is a spectacular, quite honestly. I have brought somebody in from a major show. I wish I could bring the star on, but he's massive, and I'm sure he has better things to do than this show. But I did bring this bit player on from this massive show. You might have heard of him, named Stu Bergier. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
You know, I know the show that you're from. Listen to it all the time, watch it all the time. Really good. I don't think I've ever noticed you on the show.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you do know the show because you did mention the star is massive.
Could you?
And that is true.
Could you turn down the ugly Eagles?
This? No,
Yeah.
no. This is. Well, it automatically goes on and off.
Really?
Based on my mood. When I'm excited for something, it's on, and then I'm doing an interview with you.
Did you? Anyway, so we have quite a program. This will be the last, one-on-one with you and me and this tag-along guy.
Third wheel.
Yeah, third wheel. Boy, oh boy, they're a pain in the neck, aren't they? We want to talk to you about Grip 6 because Stu is a pickleball guy.
I love the pickleball. It's true.
Yeah. See, look, the lights are on. He's telling the truth.
No, it's actually fun. I mean, it's one of those things that I wasn't sure. I played I remember playing it like gym class in high school and then not hearing about it for a long time. And now it's everywhere. And, you know, my inclination when we have a trend like this is to immediately reject it because I don't like going along with the flow. But it's freaking fun. It's freaking fun. They make great pickleball paddles. Yeah,
I was at my church. I was in what's called our bishopric. I help support the bishop on some things. And they all played pickleball together, and I never even got the phone call for it.
So people didn't think you were athletic enough for this?
Yeah, I think so. And I said, if there's pickles involved, I mean, it's not something I like to gouge myself on, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. But apparently no pickles involved. Anyway, if you'd like a great pickleball paddle, you can get them at Grip 6, all made here in America. Socks made here in America. Great belts. Do you have their belt?
Yeah, really nice.
Really nice. They have great wallets, everything else, all made in America. Get it now at grip6.com/Beck. That's grip6.com/Beck. Okay. There was something that we haven't shared, to everybody. We shared this on BlazeTV because, quite honestly, the YouTube people aren't here yet, right?
No.
They suck. We keep They are on?
Some of them.
That's why anyway, we're playing this now because we love the YouTube people. This is Kash Patel earlier this week. I did a show, and this is such a big deal, but the show was even bigger, naming names on things that we didn't have time to put this into the regular show. So this is the first time we're revealing. I asked Kash Patel, who used to be, what was he, the assistant DNI, director of national intelligence. He was high up in the Pentagon. He worked with NSA, so he knows. And I asked him, hey, Jeffrey Epstein, he had a little black book and nobody's looking into anything. Where is the little black book? Because if somebody has it, they could use it for really bad blackmail things. Who has it? Here's what he told me.
Hillary Clinton's email, wiped. Peter Strzok and Lisa Page's Lovebird text messages and phone call, wiped. Special counsel, Mueller's deputy, Andrew Weissman, his phone was wiped.
Wait, how does that happen when I know NSA has gigantic data banks in Utah underground that captures everything?
Well, good luck getting that. I'm not saying it's not there. Who are you going to get that?
For instance, who is currently holding, this is way off the topic, but who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book.
Wow.
Wait, are we still not going to say? Are we?
Hey, Glenn, I'm jumping in here. Remember you told us to cut it off at that point? So you have to subscribe to BlazeTV to get the
I would
answer.
never have said, does that sound like me?
Sounds exactly like you. It's the type of thing you would do.
Now, and his lights are going off. So, no. YouTube people, that is this greedy damn staff. But I guess you're going to have to join blazetv.com and sign up for GlennTV Plus to find out that answer. Boy, wait until you hear the answer, too. I'd tell you right now, but they have guns on me right now. Same people who have the black book. Okay, there's also another story that we didn't get a chance to address this week, and it was that Vivek Ramaswamy was on CNN. And I love how fair and balanced they are.
They're always fair and balanced.
Fair and balanced. Yeah, fair and balanced at CNN. They asked him about January 6th. Watch how many times they interrupt.
So you're saying that that you have not seen any evidence.
So
that
we've
there
seen
were,
multiple.
and so
we've seen multiple informants suggesting that there were. We know people were FBI informants, so we're asked.
Is there any evidence?
May I just finish this, and you can come back and question me?
Well, let me clarify.
I know this is very uncomfortable for you.
I'm going to clarify my question.
I know this is an uncomfortable issue for many people, but we have to do the truth here.
I'm going to clarify my question because I want to make sure that you understand what I'm asking.
I understand this deeply. And I told you I was with you 3 years ago. I'm not there now.
Where is the evidence?
Yes.
Where is the evidence that the government had a plot?
So let's do this.
An inside job.
But no, I'm going to tell you what an inside job is, because I'm not
violence on January 6th.
I'm not going to let you put words in my mouth. I'm going to put my words in my mouth. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that.
Where is the evidence that the government was involved in planning or executing January 6th?
So I'm going to give you hard facts. And if I may, Abby, I know this is going to be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to go through this, and you can push back on it after that. And you can push back on that. And let's do this fairly. Why did they suppress footage of now what's been released, 200 hours of footage of shooting rubber bullets into that crowd, shooting tear gas into that crowd? You didn't see that before. You saw what the response was to that. Now you see footage coming out of actually rolling out the red carpet for Capitol Police allowing people in.
Again,
right through the front door.
The vast majority of the footage.
That evidence should have been released before, Abby.
Mr. Ramaswamy, the vast majority of the footage shows police officers being overrun
and I want to talk about one more
by
case.
violent
this is really important.
rioters. That's
I'm going to give you some hard facts.
Of it shows.
So here's what entrapment is.
Cherry pick.
I'm not cherry picking. If I may finish, Abby. If I may finish, Abby. I'm not cherry picking.
I can't take it.
Unwatchable.
Unwatchable.
What is the point of that?
She's saying you're cherry picking. No, he now has access to all of the footage, all of it. And she's cherry picking. She's only taking the clips that the government released 3 years ago and not listening. I mean, it was practically a government psyop.
That was unbelievable to watch. Now, he did say it was an inside job in that debate, didn't he? He's like, don't put words in my mouth. But those were the words that he used, I think.
I don't remember. He might have.
That was one of the things. I mean, I think that's over. Obviously, looking at the entire thing, it's maybe overstating it, but you have a situation. Maybe. I mean, I think, look, there were definitely people there that were not government informants.
Yes. But how much was the leadership? Government informants, how much is, I mean, there's lots of things that people do because they're in a crowd and they're just like, I gotta go along with a crowd. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So how much of that was a government operation? Who was doing that? And how much was a government operation on cutting the fences, opening the doors, and beyond that, not accepting the Pentagon's help the day before, not notifying Capitol Police so they knew what was going on. I mean, there's obviously some coordination on the government side. How deep it goes, how widespread it was, I don't know.
Yeah, and we do know that everything from January 7th since has been completely insane.
Yes.
When it relates to this, it's been nuts. They've tried to blow it into, it was the Civil War, as bad as the Civil War, that it's the worst thing that's happened to our country in its history. And look, it was not a good day. It was a riot. There's bad things that went on there. There's questions about elements of it. But what they've tried to turn this into has been essentially a way to manipulate the public into thinking one thing or the other. And so far, I don't think it's worked. I don't think it's worked.
No, I think it's backfiring. You use the word riot. I like to use that word in a comedic sense. Watching the press and the Nancy Pelosi's of the world backpedal on this now and say, no, you don't know. I mean, it's a riot.
It is a riot. It's entertaining.
It's entertaining. It's a riot. Fareed Zakaria.
Oh, love Fareed Zakaria.
Do you?
No. Not at all.
What do you have wrong? It's his color, isn't it?
It is not his color. Don't care
Really?
about his color at all. I do, of course, am old enough to remember him accusing you of all sorts of things back in the day.
Now, wait a minute. Hang on just a second. You're saying George Soros's mouthpiece?
Yeah, not a fan of you.
Not a fan of me. That is crazy.
Now, it's odd because every once in a while he comes out with something that is mildly sane, and I guess that's what happened this weekend. People were so shocked by it that it kind of made the rounds.
In other news today, Fareed Zakaria made sense. Here is Fareed calling out the university. Listen to this.
When one thinks of America's greatest strengths, the kind of assets the world looks at with admiration and envy, America's elite universities would long have been at the top of that list. But the American public has been losing faith in these universities for good reason. Three university presidents came under fire this week for their vague and indecisive answers when asked whether calling for the genocide of Jews would violate their institutions' codes of conduct. But to understand their performance, we have to understand the broad shift that has taken place at elite universities, which have gone from being centers of excellence to institutions pushing political agendas. American universities have been...
I can't listen to these things very long. I had to take a small little dose or I blow my stack.
Yeah.
Here's the guy who has been pushing progressive George Soros open society bullcrap for years. I know that the right wasn't the one going, you know what? We should give all the college kids color crayons so they can go into a safe space and just make pictures of happy trees. That wasn't the right doing that. And now he's suddenly away from that and he's like, you know what? He went into politics and that was wrong and I've always been there.
Yeah,
Come on.
Very strange. It's hard to know. I mean, it's hard to know if he even means it, honestly. He, of course, very possible with Fareed Zakaria, he just plagiarized the entire thing, and it was someone else's opinion. That's kind of been his way.
Wouldn't that be ironic?
It is.
If he was plagiarizing something about the plagiarism that happened by the Harvard
universities.
Yeah, it's weird.
It all works together. Yeah, I mean, he's not an honest arbiter in my mind, and has not been at all. Maybe he's had that same change, though. I mean, he talks about the changes in the universities. I mean, it has gotten considerably worse at these universities. I think we can acknowledge that, but it's always been bad at these elite universities. He just used to cheer it on. Now he's not. Maybe he's had this big awakening, or maybe he's stealing his opinion from someone else, like usual.
I don't know what he's talking about. I think he's a delightful human being. We're going to come back with one last story that makes my brain explode. Not necessarily the story per se, but the experience that I think we might have had recently, all of us, that kind of touches on this story. We'll do that in a second. First, let me tell you about Ruff Greens. Owning a dog is a lot of responsibility. Taking care of their basic needs isn't always as simple as it may seem. Stu lost this year. We lost President Miles.
It's a downside of this year. Everything else in this year went totally fine, but we did lose our dog, unfortunately.
Yeah.
18 years old, though.
That's amazing.
That's a good run.
Yeah, it's a really good run. Uno is 12, I think, now. And that's the oldest any of our German Shepherds have lived.
Those bigger dogs don't last nearly as long.
No, especially German Shepherds. And it's, I think it might be a bad year next year for us with Uno. But both of our dogs had Ruff Greens, the supplement that you sprinkle on your dog's food. And both of us believe, at least I do, and I think I've heard you say this, I do believe that, and I don't have any proof to back this up, it's just my feeling, because I saw the difference in Uno when we started putting Ruff Greens on his food. He's like, he gained like 3 years of puppy life. It was really unbelievable. Did you see that?
I have that same excitement when I see like Taco Bell. Right? I think we all go through that. This is like,
except that won't extend your life.
No, that will shorten it.
That's not. No, it's most of that is heavy metal plastic, but this has all the good stuff in it. They want to give you the first trial bag to see if your dog likes it for free. You just pay for shipping. All you have to do is go to ruffgreens.com/Beck. That's ruffgreens.com/Beck. Okay. There's a TikTok trend. Couple of TikTok trends. One of them is affecting our kids on their shopping lists. okay, you know, for Christmas shopping. 10-year-old kids are shopping like 40-year-old adults. You know, I want this Marc Jacobs bangle, and I need this skin. And you're like, what? Who are you?
How did you even know that brand existed?
Yeah. And it is becoming very brand specific and very expensive. They're saying kids around 8 stop asking for toys now. 8.
No, my kids are not in that. They're not on that bandwagon.
Are
They
they
still
on
want
TikTok?
toys. Oh God, no!
Yeah, okay.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
You're gonna expose my kids to the Chinese Communist Party at 12 years old? No, thank you. By the way, I'm also not on TikTok.
Yeah.
Now my wife, I don't know if she still uses it. She did at one point, but no, I'm out. I absolutely no on that one.
I have been saying the same thing. No TikTok, Chinese communists. In my family, I don't think they're on TikTok anymore, but my family, you know, my wife and daughter were like,
right.
the Chinese are coming with this stupid stuff. And I'm like, yes.
That's exactly.
And they're saying that this is actually changing our culture, our buying habits for our kids. The lists have become so outrageous because of TikTok. Now, China also said that their number one goal is to divide our nation and to cause chaos in our nation. You don't think TikTok is going to play a role in that? Please get your kids off. The other thing is, you know, TikTok was the home of, you know, Osama bin Laden wasn't that bad.
That's right. Did you read his letter? It's great.
Yeah. And then the second part of that campaign was, I've been reading the Quran, and wow, does it make sense? Really? You've read the Quran.
They have not. I can promise you that.
I can promise you they haven't.
I also read the Osama bin Laden letter.
Yeah.
I can promise you they didn't read that either.
Yes.
That's long. It's hard to read. They didn't do it.
Yeah,
They're just
no
commenting off something else they saw on TikTok.
Exactly right. Now, here is the latest trend from TikTok. Watch.
Be honest, who do you call when you are at your lowest? Who is that one person?
Nobody. I'm a man. No one cares.
Not a single soul. Nobody.
No one. Because I'm all alone.
I think I speak for a lot of people when I say I don't call anyone.
Nobody. I'm a guy. Nobody gives a shit.
Speaking for the guys when I say this, literally no one.
Y'all call someone?
Nobody. Just nobody. No one to talk to. So nobody.
No one. I'm a man. No one cares.
No one. Not a single person.
I wouldn't call anyone. I wouldn't turn to a single person on this earth because they don't care. They will just find a way to use it against me one day.
We can call somebody? I just thought nobody gave a because I was a man.
What do you get from that?
First of all, the content is just so terrible on these sites.
So terrible.
So the point of that is that men don't call people because people don't care about men? I don't even...
No, this is a warning on toxic masculinity. Okay?
What?
That men don't call because that's part of being a man. I'm a man. I'm a man.
I mean,
toxic masculinity.
Some of the people seem to be saying that. Like, look, I'm a dude. Why am I not going to call somebody? Like, and bother them with my stupid problems?
The secondary thing that I don't think anybody's talking about that I see for that is some of those people are actors. I mean, bad actors. They're not being paid for anything. They just think they're actors. I don't believe some of them. But it is the people don't care. I'm a man. Nobody cares. Well, where would you be getting that?
TikTok?
Yeah. And school, media, everything else. Men make no difference anymore.
That's the vibe of the society.
Right.
You marinate in that for 18 years, and maybe you come out with that on the other side.
Yeah. Now, I do want to talk to you about toxic masculinity.
Please. It's time we had a national discussion, Glenn.
Yeah, we're about to have
one. No one keeps bringing it up.
Yeah, we're about to have one in a way that nobody is bringing up on, at least in the media. Did you do your Christmas shopping yet?
I mean, a percentage of it, and that percentage is 0.
Okay. Have you been in like a men's store lately?
Yeah, you know, every once in a while you're there.
Okay, all right. Now, I want to just show you my outfit, his outfit, okay? This is the result of him shopping at a place where there are no gay men, okay? None.
There's been one player in the NFL that was gay, and so therefore NFL.com was where I bought this.
Right.
That's where I buy my menswear.
So, you know, that's like walking into a men's store where everybody's like in a wife beater shirt and they're like, "Can I help you with something? We got the wife beater shirts here, pair of jeans over here, and baggy basketball shorts. What else does a man need?" Okay?
Right.
When you go into a men's store, me personally, I don't want to talk to that guy. Okay? I want to talk to the gay man. Okay?
Okay.
All right? Because they're like, "Sweetheart, that works on you. It's good." Okay? Now, no man, no woman, nobody has said anything like that to me for a long time because nothing works on me. However, there is something about gay men and fashion that you want. Okay?
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to dress like the people I see at the men's store.
There's Queer Eye.
Queer Eye for the straight guy.
For the straight guy. There's a reason.
There's a reason that was a show.
Right, okay? However, can we stop with now guys who are wearing skirts, high heels, and makeup and earrings? There was a guy in a skirt, high heels, earrings, and a beard at the men's store. I don't want any advice from you.
No.
I mean, if that's what you're picking out, I don't think I need your help. Lacoste, right? In the men's section, skirts for men.
Dude skirts?
Dude skirts. You can wear a dude skirt if it's a kilt. Now, you're going to be made fun of. Especially if you have, you know, one of those cats that you squeeze, bagpipes.
Sure.
But can we please stop? I went Christmas shopping and I was overwhelmed by how feminine all of the men, not just the people working there, the clothing that are now being sold to boys and men, how non-gender it is at best.
Yeah, it's not like there was a time where you'd have like androgynous stuff, like they'd do the yellow baby clothing, and that was this thing for a while. But like this is happening to women too. My wife went in to buy some makeup, which is, you know, she does that from time to time.
Yeah, right.
And in one of those times, she went up to the counter, makeup that she's purchased before, and the advertisement was now a guy with a beard and a mustache and wearing all of the makeup. And
my
she's like,
wife
I'm never going back to that counter.
My wife said the same thing. I was in, I don't want to say what store because I can't remember what store it was, but you know, the department stores with a big makeup counter.
Yeah.
And there was a dude, full makeup, very effeminate, dressed in like chick clothing, I think, selling the makeup. And I'm like, who are you appealing to?
Right.
Who are you appealing to?
Like, I don't know if you're in like Soho in New York, like maybe that flows and works with your customers, but like we live in Dallas, you know, like, and we don't even live in Dallas. We live in the suburbs of Dallas. These are, I don't know, red communities where women think women should be women. And it's a really boring view these days, I guess. But like, I don't think this is helping them with their sales.
I don't think so. I mean, I just have to tell you, I don't care. I don't care how you dress, how you identify. I don't expect me to call you a woman, because if I take you to the hospital, I'm going to say, by the way, doctor, in case you can't tell, that's
skirt.
a dude.
Yeah, I know there's a skirt there, but that's a dude.
That's a dude. It's important that we identify what people really are. What you want to call yourself, fine. I don't care. But my gosh, all of these corporations that have gone, I mean, first of all, I saw a girl, beautiful girl, in a very high-end store, all tatted up her neck and her eyes and everything else. And I'm like, when did this become everywhere? When did I become the freak? You know what I mean?
If all you're trying to do is be different, then in a way you're sort of conforming, right? Like if everyone's trying to be different, then essentially you're just conforming, which is kind of a letdown for people who want to be so different. I think there is it's a strange thing in that like the only thing that really explains it is something you've talked about a lot, which is the ESG stuff, right? There's no reason to do this stuff for these companies. I don't think it's working for them sales-wise, but it seems like they're appeasing another god. Right? They've got this other thing they're trying to accomplish other than sales, other than good old normie capitalism. And the ESG stuff does explain a lot of this. They're trying to please some outside system that seems totally foreign to its customers, but it's about changing that view long term.
I walked into a store that's been very Dallas forever, you know, men's store is men's store. And I walked in just for this holiday season, and I thought I was in the wrong section. And then I realized, no, I am in the men's section. It's not the men's and women's section. Those are men's shoes, high heels. That's what that is. And I thought, really? Is it that prevalent here?
Yeah.
Really? I mean,
seems hard to believe.
Where you have it right out in the front. I mean, we've lost our way. We're doing a show from Archie Bunker's set next season.
Looks incredible.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And, you know, the theme song used to say, you know, something like, we knew where we stand because men were men, or women were women, and men
girls
were
girls
men.
Or men were men, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember those days. And I remember thinking, Archie Bunker's a little like my grandfather, you know what I mean? Just old thinking kind of guy. He wasn't, thank God, Archie Bunker. But I remember thinking at the time, he's like my grandfather because my grandfather used to say, you can't tell the difference between the boys and the girls anymore because of the hippies.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Grandpa, come see what it's like today. I can't tell you how many times I meet people and I'm like, I have no idea who I'm talking to. I don't want to be rude. I'm not going to call you anything because you might be the ugliest woman I've ever seen or a dude. I don't know. I've walked into stores where I think it was a woman and I think she was trying to be a woman, but she was so dude-ish, I don't know. Or was she a woman trying to be a dude? I mean, I can't.
Yeah,
they can't even talk to each other.
The media likes to highlight the occasional woman or the guy who says they're a woman and is somehow in like a swimsuit competition, and you can tell, but also they've done a lot of work to try to look this way. The real normal situation for normal people is that weird middle where like it's not even like people are like, well, why don't you call them a man if they're really a man? Well, what if I don't know? Like, what if I'm not sure?
The world has turned into Saturday Night Live's Pat.
Yes. And Pat, look, the Pat sketch had something, there was something about that, right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't know and you felt uncomfortable. And now they've turned everybody into that. Even if you know for sure it's a woman, you can't even be sure to say what you're supposed to say unless you happen to be like us and we don't care. But generally, that's a whole other story. But like that was the thing back then. They were afraid to say to Pat, hey, which are you? And they would ask her questions like probing, trying to figure out, and she'd always answer in some androgynous way. That was like, it was funny. And it
didn't seem relatable to some degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like,
you knew that
person could exist.
That was ugly and androgynous themselves. They're not trying to do something.
Right. That's just who they were.
You just didn't know. And so, and that was the only way it was related. Not because someone was trying to be the other sex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, that's all it is.
It was trying to exploit that area of like honest uncertainty. Like you'd meet someone you just wouldn't know. Now we're in a place where we do know and we're supposed to say the wrong thing. That is a total change in society and not a healthy one.
And now Saturday Night Live would never put Pat on, and now it would be hysterical.
Oh my God.
Now it would be hysterical.
It really would. Yeah. You wouldn't even have to dress the people up. You just have to play the pronoun game. It would be hilarious.
Yep. All right. We'll see you next year. Thanks, Stu, for a great year. Thank you for a great year. God bless.